Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Radio League of Europe at 7:03 p.m. I'm your host, QVR underscore killer underscore, and I'm joined by RJW underscore videos, also known as Ross. How are you doing, Ross? I thought I'd go with a more soothing opening this evening. Yeah, well, yes, of course, you've been very ill the last few days. People say I have a voice made for radio, so there we are, and I just thought I'd really lean into that. Let's have a look through the standings. We're here at Azerbaijan. Our championship leader is QVR Campbell, picked up 2 podiums last week, 2 third places. NSX Montana is 11 points behind. QVR Verstappen is third. He leads NSX Connor in the battle 4P3 by a point. RLPs is fifth, and then 25 points back to QVR Cordes in sixth. Luco 5HD in seventh with 82. Then Tope, Rocker Ready for Real, Larkin, Nathan, Koskappen, Marty, Jewelry, Miami, Darry, Farrell, Lars Nguat, Forza Brendan, and Toxic MML, who you mentioned before we started the stream, is absent for the second week in a row. But let's go into qualifying. Who are we on board with? We're on board with QVR and Verstappen. Let's go on board with Campbell instead. Championship leader approaching turn 1. Pick your braking point. Use the curb as a little barometer there, unless you're using line, as most of them are. Curbs here, bumpy and bulbous and absolutely atrocious. You see Campbell there trying to open up the track as much as possible, but avoiding that curb on the inside. Felipe's been disqualified going the wrong way. I think he has a qualifying ban, doesn't he? Or am I mistaken? Yes, he does indeed. For an accumulation of licence points, or was he a terrorist? Yes, well, he's got a new tack this season, has Ariel Felipe. He's keeping it clean, keeping it smooth and steady. Bit of a geography teacher of LOE, is Ariel Felipe. That's how he's trying to rebrand himself. We're on board with QVR Campbell, who I don't know what subject he would teach if he was a teacher. Probably something really boring because he's Scottish. Or are Scottish people? I don't know if there is there Scottish about Scottish people as to whether they're entertaining or boring. I mean, he swears a lot, so he's Scottish. Scottish people swear a lot. He's probably a PE teacher in that case. Through the triple left kink of 12, 13 and 14, and then the tricky downhill braking zone of 15. Easy to just send yourself into the wall, as was deftly illustrated there generously for the cameras QVR Campbell, but he's still in P2 behind NSX Connor. Montana's in third. It's a bit of a Campbell sandwich. Actually, it's more like Noah's Ark. We've got NSX, QVR, and then ERT Larkin lurking in P5. Brendan's retired from the session at the S's. Oh dear for him. But it looks like we're going to get a Connor and Campbell front row. Campbell championship leader, Connor in P4, and then P2 and P3 in the championship just behind them. Connor manned pole by 3/10 of a second from Campbell, Montana and Verstappen. And that was fun, even though we didn't really see anything happen. But it's Baku, it's a good challenge. Walls are close. No one apart from Brendan seemed to make too much of a mistake there. Well, if you're at the back, though, you're the person taking advantage of the front wing debris, or the one causing them. You're not going to get rear-ended by someone. But yes, I do take your point that if someone were to go a bit hunky-dory in the middle of turn 2 or 3, you could very much get caught up in it from behind, a bit like I ploughed into the back of Rocco at Portimao on Saturday in Division 1. Let me get a track map up, because I'm not a good commentator and I've not memorised all of the corner numbers. I don't think any of them have names. But there we are. We've got 20 corners. I wish I could tell you how many left to the left and how many to the right, but I can tell you a lot of them are 90 degrees. So that's exciting. I like it when I commentate F2. It's just chaotic energy all the way. And let's see if anyone's in stream chat. Has Montana said hello, ladies? Oh, he said Iod Evening. And Resify says hello, hello, hello. Hello. Right. It's dry, that's a shame. What are you expecting from this sprint? Do you think it's going to be plain sailing for our 4 leaders? It is tricky for Ben JS around here because he's not, with the walls being so close, unfortunately for him, he's not able to go off the track to complete his overtakes around here. So we'll keep him in our thoughts and prayers. What are you oohing at? Well, he seems like he's doing his best, but I don't have too many places to overtake here. Although I say that, I don't think he's doing... I think he's settled that he's going to be P5. Has Cortez left QVR? Because, see, I'm in QVR and I had no idea about this. You can tell how much time I spend in the QVR, the Clean Vigor server, as it is Cortez is trying to pass Taupe there. No, he's not. Taupe is in the... whatever car that is. High-tech. No, sorry, it's Luke in the high-tech. Oh, we've got some crashes at turn 15, that's exciting. Yeah, Cortez is in the Carlin. The fact that they all have F1 liveries makes life a lot harder when you're F2, yeah. Because I don't know the colour codes on the side of the screen. I always have to subtly go into TCAM and be like, oh, it says Trident. Okay, here they are in the Trident car. Right, have we got anyone in stream chat? I don't think so. We're up to a mighty 6 viewers, that's exciting. So, predictions, who's going to win? Interesting. Interesting roll. A few disqualifications, yeah. On the end of the formation up here. Verstappen, notably in P7, the first of our championship leading quartet. Who is that just coming into position there? That's God knows, Darry. Right, so here we go then. Everyone's coming into position, and for the first of 2 times tonight, we're about to get lights out at Baku. So we've got Ben JS on pole, Darry alongside him. We've got 3, 4, 5 lights. We've got the walls of Baku. It's lights out and the ting goes skrrr as Ben JS leads them down to turn 1. But there's a massive snap of traction. Darry immediately sails into the lead there. Ben settles into P2. Behind him it's a little bit tame. It's Taupe, then Luke and Cortez. Larkin's got past Verstappen. Chaos in the background though with our championship leaders. Nathan and Campbell are involved there as Cortez and Larkin go side by side through turn 2, and Luke has nabbed ahead of Ben JS on the slipstream towards turn 3. There are 3 wide almost there, bumping and barging wheels as we come towards the 3rd 90-degree right-hander in a succession, and look at that. Who was that pinched up in the middle? I think that was Taupe between Larkin and Verstappen possibly. And they're still going at it. Look at that, someone's had a very poor exit. That was Cortez out of turn 4, and our 5th 90-degree right corner now. Larkin's now into 4th, Verstappen is 5th, he's gained 2 places. Campbell is plummeted, Connor's plummeted, he's now battling away with California for P17. But I think the first lap delivered, the first half of the first lap, has delivered on its promise, Mr. Ross. Loses 2 places for his troubles, does Verstappen. That's brought out. Is a virtual safety car. He'll return back to his starting place, will Verstappen, in P7, albeit behind Montana now. Miami's up 3 places, he's in P8. Cortez is the big loser in the first lap, he's down 11, along with Connor and Campbell, who was battling away with California. As well, Nathan's lost a few places too. Brendan, I wonder if Farrell's had damage, because Brendan was very close behind Farrell as they were coming out of the castle section, and you can see in fact Nathan definitely does have damage. His front left end plate is ajar, not just ajar, it is gapingly missing there, as you can see as he comes around turn 2. All plain sailing for Darry though, he's taken a comfortable lead up front, and was just around the 1 to 1.1 second gap when the VSC came out. We'll see if that changes when it comes in, but I think he's had as perfect a start as you can hope for around Baku. It is not. Forgive my bite of sausage roll there. We've got Felipe behind the back of Miami here. Looking 14, you've got to get up very early in the morning to make a move into turn 15. Miami is wise to it, and Felipe is forced to back out. Campbell makes another move past Sagat. That is into turn 15. Audacious, but he's pulled it off, and we've got the 2 blue cars here. Are they both UNIs? They are both UNIs, both Virtuosi cars. There's Connor and Nathan jostling away a little bit there through turn 17 and 18. I wonder if Nathan just had a shoddy exit out of 16 with his... Oh, and I did Farrell hit the wall there? We were just seeing as Felipe does now pass Miami, and Montana past Tote as well, and is Verstappen going to get in on the action here? Up the inside, I think it's going to be double trouble for the Boschong livery IRT Tope, and Verstappen is through as Marty does the same to Cortez. They're going to be side by side coming into turn 2, and look at that behind them as well. Brendan and Farrell. Who's going to come out of this one on top? I think it's going to be Cortez in the car lane, but they bump wheels. Cortez hit the wall, skidded into the side of Marty, and we've got an MP Motorsport round in the background. That is NSX Connor at the exit of turn 2, as Larkin now passes Ben Chase. It's all happening at the start of lap 3 here. Larkin passes Ben Chase into turn 3, and behind them Verstappen and Montana dicing away towards turn 5, and Montana's shaping behind him. That set up a little bit of move, but Verstappen then has a dodgy exit himself out of turn 6 as they come on the short run towards 7. Montana is hustling and harrying the back of Verstappen's VAR car there, but Verstappen holds on as Miami has re-overtaken Felipe. And Marty as well. Yeah, I think Nathan's beached his car there. We've got another virtual safety car. Yeah, I had that problem in a practice lobby for Bahrain for LOE, where I beached my car on a curb. It wasn't even on a curb, it was on that like painted tarmac, and I just couldn't. The car just didn't want to move. I had to rock it like very slowly and gently. But Nathan's back going. Oh no, I say that. Drops the rear out of 15. Ben Jess is looking to get past Larkin sharpish, so perhaps there's a chance here as the 2 UNIs swapping places under VSC. Nathan is that, yeah. I wonder if Nathan will come in and retire at the end of this lap, because he needs a safety car to bring himself back in, and even then I don't think he's got tyres really that'll give him in any position to compete coming in the race. Marty's got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I wonder if he's going to retire. We are still under VSC here. Marty's not retiring, as it turns out. And, well, just as we're about to get going again, what have you made of the first 3 and a bit laps? tell you who is also on his charge right now is Larkin. Look at him pushing Luke's high-tech through turn 11 as I come over the crest of the hill, and the track falls away from you a little bit down towards 15. I said it's I think one of the trickiest braking zones on the calendar if you are no ABS particularly there, and Larkin is just, I think, shaping himself up for a move, but Luke needs to stay. He'd race Leo Darius DRS, he needs a good exit out of 16 as Larkin has a bit of a shoddy one there, and that'll just set him some way back. Luke's exit is actually very good, he's now within 8/10 with Darius. I think Larkin will be waiting another lap, just a bit eager on the throttle there, but behind them, Ben JS is starting to accumulate a bit of a train behind him. He's not stayed with Larkin too well, and now he's got Verstappen and Montana in pursuit as Campbell continues his charge upfield. He passes Farrell before we even get to the DRS though, which makes me think Farrell made a mistake there, and Farrell is going to get the DRS in return, and perhaps Campbell will be wishing that whatever mistake it was that Farrell didn't make it, because now he's stuck back behind the Ulsterman once again. We've got a yellow flag, that is for Marty, turn 15, as Farrell hits the wall there and gets some damage for his troubles, and Campbell nips back in, says thank you very much, as Verstappen now does pass Ben JS. Into turn 3 we go, and Verstappen safely ahead. Ooh, just about gets the car stopped in time, and Felipe re-overtakes Miami but hits the wall, and all his good work could be undone there with some damage, and I think he has got some damage. And they look like they're tied together by a piece of string, don't they, those UNIs? Oh, no. He is indeed, and Felipe just hit the back of Miami, his teammate there, through turn 7. I feel like he was playing a bit more daring do than he needed to there, but he's got a very good run out of 15. I think Miami is a little bit spooked here by Felipe, and he's got the inside line into 16, the last proper corner on the track. He sneaks his way through, and can Cortez do anything about this as well? We've got Ben JS has dropped it in the S section, and there he is, getting out of the way, and that's really compromised Cortez's run at the 2 UNIs, and Miami slams into the wall. He's out of the race, and is that going to be it's a full safety car here? And I think that all started as Montana's into the pits, Felipe's into the pits. No, sorry, Montana. Who else was that coming in? Montana and Ben JS. That all started. Must have lost some more somewhere. I think, yeah, that all must have started between, if it was between these two, I think that all started when Ben JS had his moment, whether it's with Montana or not, at turn 17 or 18. That really shunted the lines of the 2 UNIs, and we know that Felipe had damage anyway. Miami might have had some invisible damage I couldn't see. So that really compromised their lines. And then you had Cortez coming at them at a rate of knots, and their lines were just thrown off, and I think Miami wasn't able to deal with the high-speed kink coming at him, especially when he's just been passed by Felipe. He's got Cortez coming up behind him, and he's got a stricken Charouz to his side, to his right. I think it's understandable if you're going to make a mistake of that magnitude, and the result is it's brought out a safety car, and it's brought QVR Campbell nicely back into play. He's into P8 now. Montana's down in 13th. And Verstappen is the big winner in this of our championship contenders, because he's up in P4. Yeah, it'll be their quali set that they use, but they'll only have a few percent on, won't they? It won't be too bad. Nathan's on wets. Good for him. But this is gonna be a problem with how far Nathan and Marty are behind. We're not going to get going here probably till the end of lap 8, because the field is so sparse. Marty's about 4/5 of a lap down on Darry, who will be ruining his luck a little bit here because he looked very comfortable out front. As Felipe's made another overtake under the safety car here, and again has to return the place. Why is it that he in particular? It was Miami on the VSC. There's now Taupe here. What's so hard about staying behind the car in front? And it's happened again here. As Taupe passes, I've moved finish line. I'm now onto a Twix, and then it'll be a carrot and a tangerine during the beach race. Dinner with killer. This is what happens when you have a long day. Kids, you can't be asked to cook a meal, right? Marty, with his myriad spins, isn't going to have any tyres left by the time he catches up to the pack, if indeed he does catch up to the pack, and time for the safety car to come in. So he's going to have to burn his tyres up, catching back up. What is his gap to leader? 1 minute 35 off the lead. He's not coming down. Why are Taupe and Felipe doing this? We're going to stick with Felipe and watch him be annoying. He's doing it again. I think, as an organiser, Ross, I think this needs stamping out. Treating the league like a joke. Old habits die hard. F2 Felipe is alive and well, even if F1 Felipe is a changed man. Martin's now 1 minute 20 off the lead, and what time we're feeling between 15 seconds as Farrell makes a pit stop. I can't imagine so, although Martin's going very slowly, so yeah, he must be on a delta. Yeah, he just disappeared. It was on the steering wheel momentarily, so that's not going to help us getting underway. I think we're going to, end of lap 8 is where we're looking right now. We're going to get the maximum safety car duration possible. Yes. We're getting a little bit. He's 55 seconds off the lead and catching, but yeah, it's we need Darry to do a proper Luco 5 HD on the safety car restart here. Yes, and stop the car in the middle of the track. Oh, Nathan hits the wall at turn 3. How exciting. Hardy Wakefield's in chat, formerly of XL fame. XL Hardy, hello sir. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not sure why you've picked this race of all races to drop by, but good to have you with us. Hope your GCSEs went well, or whatever it was you were up to. Marty, so Nathan's now 43 seconds off lead. He's catching. Marty's taken half a minute since we started speaking. Can't keep the car in a straight line though. But it makes sense. He's driving Roy Nassani's dams, so keeping up appearances. So are we going to get safety car in this lap? We are not. So yeah, we are. So it's not going to be end of lap 8. It's going to be the end of lap 9. Yeah, we're going to get 4 laps, I think, including Delta, for VSC. So a bit, 3 full laps under SC and then a partial lap under Delta. We need something to talk about. How was your day? Tell me about that. Well, I was meant to have parents' evening tonight, and then the school had mistakenly categorised all of the appointments as in person rather than online, so I couldn't join the meeting. And I had to email parents saying couldn't do it, citing technical difficulties. Easiest parents' evening I've ever had to do. We'll have to do. Tope gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Do you think that's because he had an illegal overtake on Felipe? Fortunately, the sprint race doesn't set the grid for the feature, otherwise we would be in a pickle. As it is, Tope can just get that 5 seconds removed, but point stands, I think. But there's absolutely no need to be going round pariahing yourself on other drivers like that and making yourself a nuisance for no reason whatsoever. Maybe Felipe's got a bee in his bonnet, but, you know. It's not on, Jeff. It's not on. Second car in his lap. Hooray! Let me finish my quicks. Oh, huge contact. Oh, my word. With 5 cars ghosted there and in the wall and damage for all of them between them, Nathan will be regretting picking his wet tyres because he's now up to 11th place. Behind them, Marty's now 12th. We've got Ben JS leading a gaggle as they come into turn 6. And that's Ben JS with no front wing at all. Ariel, Farrell and California also struggling as well. Campbell's now past Cortez up to P7. Through turn 7 as playing dare with the ball there is Cortez, and now that all of them are hoarding their way behind Ariel Felipe, who is suffering with that monumental wing damage. And is Campbell brave enough for a lunge into 15, or is he going to wait and bide his time? He can't afford to get stuck behind for Felipe for too long, because he can already see the group ahead of them vanishing into this with Montana down in P15. This is a golden opportunity for the Scotsman as Felipe tries to make a dart to cover the inside line there, but he just ends up compromising his exit. Campbell hits the back of him, and that is going to let Cortez through, and Connor hits the wall, and Campbell and Felipe are caught up there, as that is an absolute tragic racing. As further up ahead, we've got Nathan versus Ben JS, a front wingless car, versus a wet shod car, as they come towards turn 1. And the two beyond, I think Farrell and Montana both have damage as well. Let's ride the ball with Montana as we come towards turn 1. He's on the super soft tyres. It's Ben JS on Nathan on the inside, sorry. Squeezes Ben JS to the wall and then gets wiped out himself. Cortez has made a mistake as well in the exit turn 1. He was ghosted briefly. He's missing his front wing. Farrell slips through into P9 and the battle for the lead. Look at that, Luke's up the inside of Darry into turn 3. No contact between them. Larkin's just sitting behind them like a hungry predator. Luke's round the outside, gets turned round by Darry. Larkin will tuck underneath, try and out-drag them towards turn 5. Can he get round the outside of Darry, who had led this race and controlled it from start to finish for so long? And that is a fabulous move from Larkin. He's up the inside, he just about squeezes out Tope, but then Verstappen nips through as well. He's up the inside of Tope, Darry, sorry, turn 7. And it is Tope who's directly behind his IRT teammate in the Campos Boschong car as they come through 7 and into 8. But Luke is through into the lead, Larkin's just behind. But what an absolute mare of a lap we've had here. Look at this, Felipe once again at it. He's got California 5, Forza Brendan and Sagat close behind him. None of these guys have front wings as they come round the castle section. It's like you're playing with your broken little cars you've had, your metal cars you've had 5 years old, and all the little wingy bits, fiddly bits have snapped off as Brendan up the inside of California 5 there, through the kink of turn 13. California 5's got a good run though towards 15, but has to back out. He's not got the confidence in that car's gonna stick, and will any of them hit the wall here? And California punted Brendan into the wall, as we can see on the helicam, and behind them it's Farrell up the inside of Sagat into 16. And I've lost track of the fact we're on the last lap here, and it's going to be Luke 05 HD who's going to take victory. Will it be Larkin or Verstappen in P2 though? It's a drag race to the line, and Larkin is inseparable from Verstappen, but takes P2. Darry is 4th, Connor is 5th, Marty 6th, Chill is 7th, Tope 8th, Montana somehow 9th, Brendan 10th, Nathan retired on the line with Ariel Felipe. We didn't see that on stream, but Brendan and then Farrell in 11. Did you see what happened between those two? Not Farrell, sorry, Nathan and Felipe. It is popping. It is popping, ladies and gents, in the chat. Felipe admitting he deliberately tried to get Tope a penalty, so that's exciting. I hope he never has to race an F2 again. Connor and Campbell firing shots at each other. Campbell says, "You are so stupid at NSX Connor." NSX Connor, sorry. Connor says, "Bullshit, you put me in the wall." Felipe says, "Montana killed half the grid, ha ha ha." I think that was Felipe, to be honest. Montana replied, "Get your sources right." Said it was only Farrell. Larkin said he was grateful to have been near the front. Luke just minding his own business, saying, "Good battle." Benji says, "This is going to be great." What we need is that GIF from Gavin States where it says, "Oh, it's all the drama, Mick." I love it. Luke wins from 5th on the grid. 5th, 6th and 7th on the grid are the ones who finished 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Luke, Larkin and Verstappen. Then Darry, Connor, Marty. Remember Marty under the safety car was 1 minute 35 seconds behind the next car, or the leader of the race, sorry. Finished in 6th place. Chill 7th. Then Tope with his 5-second penalty. That will be removed, which will put him up to P5. Montana in 9th. Forza Brendan 10th. Farrell 11th. California in 12th. Then Sagat, QVR, Campbell, the adventurous race he had, it was in 14th, Benji 15th, Cortez 16th, and then our DNFers, Nathan, Felipe, Miami, and Lars Naguat. More of the same? Is that what we're hoping for in the next race? I mean, for our sake, entertainment's sake, I'm very happy for it to be crazy, but for your sake, I understand as organiser that you want a clean, fair fight. So let's see what this one brings us. Well, this time we have the quickest cars starting at the front. Sorry, I can't multitask, I'm male. How many points is it for pole? How exciting. So, tyres have gone in blocks. We've got the top 6 on Super Softs, bar Montana, who is the outlier. The bottom 9 are all on Super Softs, and then we've got a block of 5 in the middle on the mediums, from Cortez down to Miami in P11. And we've got an extra 4 laps of fun this time compared to the first race. It is exciting. I'm glad to have given up my evening for this, I have to say. So, fancy a bit of MotoGP, Rossman, after F2? yes. All we need after seeing all these crashes is to go and create more crashes. Right. I've got nothing to say on the formation app, to be honest with you. Because I don't feel like I can talk about the race in any serious sense. I'd be like pulling on my clown mask. They should all be driving clown cars, frankly. Absolute clownery from start to finish. I'm excited to see what Felipe produces this time around. I think you should encourage people to make as many reports as they see fit, and just see how many genuine reports there would be. That would be very entertaining. Can we beat Imola for D4? Can we beat 19 reports? I feel like we could do, to be honest with you, if everyone reported everything. Right. So, we're coming into position now. And it's going to be NSX Contana on pole position. Contana. I'm merging them in my mind. NSX Connor on pole position. What is this angle he's going for? Oh my days. Oh my days. Okay. That's interesting. Connor on pole. Campbell in P2. Montana and Larkin and... Montana and Verstappen behind, then Larkin Luke. All three of those disqualified from the formation up, so they'll be starting some way back, and with colder tyres as well. We're just waiting for that Prima possibly to come into position. I think that might be Nathan. And then we're ready to rumble for the second time today. God knows what's going to happen. It's Connor on pole, it's Campbell in P2, it's Baku feature race, and we're underway for the second time today. And Campbell got a tidy start behind Connor. Connor goes the outside, cover him off. Up the inside goes Verstappen on Montana, and Verstappen on the super soft tyres will be wanting to get past Montana as quickly as he can in behind them. It's stayed pretty clean. We've got Nathan surging up the inside of Cortez there into turn 2. He's on the super soft tyres. He needs to make a move on these medium runners as well in the midfield. We've got 4 or 5 wide in the back. Let's have a look. Chill is in the middle of that. So we're riding with. We've got Farrell and Felipe. Well, let's go aboard with Farrell here. He's looking to the inside of Chill. Chill, meanwhile, is pulling a move on Darry, and that was beautifully done from Chill. He slips through, and Darry will have to settle for the outside going around. Darry could be losing another place here, and Felipe, he loses 2 because Felipe slips through as well, and then possibly a 4 because here comes California 5 up the inside of Darry. It's been a shambolic lap for the German. And California's going to sneak through, and then Larsnag as well. Darry's hemorrhaging places on this opening lap. And there goes Lars up the inside of turn 7, but is he going to out-drag California towards turn 8? I think Cali is going to have to concede that place. Let's go back to our battle for lead. Connor is safely ahead. I think I might say Contana again then. I think top. Everyone's been quite well behaved on this first lap. Let's have a look at Cortez. He's close to the back of Tope as we come towards turn 15. Anyone who's going to slide into the wall here? Not on this occasion. And Cortez is certainly at the front of the field, the one who's most in a position to make an overtake as we come onto the pit straight for the first time of 15 in this race. And I have to say, I was very impressed with how squeaky clean that was. He's in a pickle right now, because Larkin's having a look at him, Verstappen was having a look into turn 2. In the end, they're fighting each other, although Montana hits the wall, and that's a horrible squeeze that he put on there to Verstappen and to Larkin. They barge wheels once and then twice, on the way in and the way out of turn 4. Larkin's got the inside now for turn 5. Here we come now, through the tricky chicane. Montana's going to have to concede there. He does indeed, Larkin's through. Larkin takes third, and this is allowing Campbell and Connor to gap themselves beautifully up front. They're so far ahead. Is that in the background? That's Cortez having a moment out of turn 6, and this is a nice little battle that we've got emerging here. Larkin on those super soft tyres is already gapping Montana a little bit since he's made that move, and Montana's going to find himself very vulnerable to the advances of Verstappen in no short order, I should think. Oh, Felipe, you absolute moron. He just tried to overtake Chill and ended up overtaking one of Chill or his teammate, ended up hitting one of them, spun himself round halfway. And that was pure idiocy. I'm not even going to pretend from Felipe. That was a nice move from Cortez though into turn 3, and he has now already gapped Tope by nearly a second, so he's making those medium tyres work well, making them work better than Tope is. And you mentioned Bender S is on those as well, as Marty just clipped the wall there, I think, on the exit of the hill, or the top of the hill I should say. Look at the gap that Campbell's got over Larkin, 4.8 seconds now. Montana's staying with him well, as Marty hits the wall again, this time on the exit of 15, and you can see how the Cortez and Tope there, just from camera angle we have, we're taking such a more extreme wide line into 16 just to really open up the corner, and Marty going nowhere near the wall. I suppose that's the difference between a D2 driver and a D4 driver, and how willing they are to push the extremities of the track. Here we come now, down towards turn 1. We've got DRS. Is Montana going to make a move on the back of Larkin? Is Larkin going to defend him? I don't think he is. Verstappen's into the pits. He's going to be the first one to come off the super soft tyres. Montana, meanwhile, on the mediums, is through on Larkin, but Larkin is going to get a DRS back himself here. The detection point is just there. And we come through turn 2 now, and as Larkin can get the exit, he needs to fight back Montana, but look at the way Montana just drives off the corner. He tries to break the toe, but I don't think there's anything Larkin can do here on the run towards turn 3, and we've got a yellow flag. That is for, who is that? It's Darion at exit of turn 1, and he's lost the front wing as well. Oh! Felipe's hit the back of his teammate again. Exciting stuff into turn 6 this time. I get he's on super soft tyres, but you got to exercise judgment and be a little bit circumspect in these situations on tracks like this. And he's trying to force a move here through turn 9 and 10. And I'm excited to see how this one goes. We're getting out side by side into turn 15. This can only end in tears between two of them. Oh my no. Oh no, oh no, oh absolute shambles from start to finish there. Brendan nips through in Ayuawasa's car there as we enter turn 15 and hits the back of Felipe, who got a little out of shape through the downhill braking zone, and Farrell is capitalising this because he's made a move on Miami, and he's making a move on California as well there, and Miami will be cursing, I'm sure, under his headset as Larkin now into the pits, and Luke and Nathan assume P4 and P5. He just wants to annoy people no end. I feel like it's his aim today. He knows he's not quicker. Brendan, it's got to be, as I said, you just got to pick your moments and your opportunities there. You can't let it get in your head, I suppose, and get frustrated, even as frustrating as it is. Felipe deep into 7, and Brendan able to pick up the traction earlier, but then just a little wiggle as we come through the castle section, and you can look at the way he's open up the corners more, but then gets too excited with the throttle. He saw Felipe go wide, got Larry with the loud pedal, and isn't going to be in a position to do anything for a couple of corners at least. And this is just it's an exciting battle brewing, I do have to say. As much as Felipe is irritating me in this race, he's given us some entertainment, and he's got a bit of a mid-exit there out of 16. Through 17, it's a non-corner, and then 18 and 19, we've got a yellow flag. That is for Sagat at turn 8. He's going again quickly. Nathan's into the pits now, and surely Brendan's going to make this move that he needs to make into turn 1. Felipe is going to cover the inside. He's coming into the pits. No, he's not coming into the pits. He wants the battle, does Felipe, and Brendan's only barely going to be ahead of him by the braking zone. Felipe goes so deep on the brakes, and oof, is in conflict with his teammate once again, if only momentarily, and I think that tells you where Felipe's mindset is. He doesn't want to complete the race as quick as time. He just wants to fight people. And speaking of fighting, Marty's got past Tope. I think he does. Oh yes, he does. I wonder if that it's the outside. It's the right hand side. So I wonder if that's the outside of turn 15, or maybe the outside of turn 3, where he's done that to himself. Is he going to make a move? You'd think so with damage, and yes, he is coming into pits. But how does he approach for entry, given he's got that damage and nice and cautious, but doesn't speed? Nicely done into the pit lane. So Montana will assume second place. Luke's coming into pits as well. Will Quarters to his we've got a yellow flag. That is for Dari at turn 15, but he's quickly going again as Ben JS passes Tope there on the run to turn 1. Both these guys on the medium tyres. Marty speeds into pit lane. That's ruined the pace to what could have been a very good race for him, as we just saw Tope there hit the inside of turn 1, Lando Norris style, there, through the right-hander. See what? Ah, yes, of course. Campbell, unsurprisingly, has not changed his wing. But I thought he would have done. He had the gap. He's not going to challenge Connor with half a front wing, and he had the gap back to Montana, so I'm surprised why he didn't elect to change it, but there we are. Where's our battle? It's Tope versus Ben JS is still where it's at. So we're having a bit of a lull in this race, aren't we? It started off very well, but we're in a bit of a quieter phase as we come through the pit stops. I suppose the alternate strategies will do that to you a little bit. As ooh, a bit of a slide there for Tope. Not Tope, sorry, Ben JS. In his, what car is that? Is that Trident? Yes, it's Trident. I got one right, Ross. I got one right. Yeah, thank you. But how spread out are we? So these guys haven't... Oh, Ben JS hits the wall, and there's a front wing end plate gone. And I think he's going to be losing a place in a few corners' time. Oh! Tope's just smacked the wall. So what would happen is Ben just hit the wall at turn 15, lost some front wing, and then Tope gave it a solid whack 2 corners later. Connor's into the pit, so now both of these guys are missing front wing bits. They are, well, before Connor pitted, they were 20 seconds off the lead. It shows you the pace of Connor and Campbell in this race. Campbell, what was his gap to the leader? He was, I think, about 24 seconds behind Connor, and he's come out closer. He has had some undercut, even with some front wing damage, so he's done a good job. Yeah, 16.3 off the lead and closing actually on the back of Montana, at a fair rate of knots as well. So Campbell doesn't seem ailed too much by the damage, and Tail 4 chairs ART there. But these guys have got a problem in the shape of Tope and Ben JS, who they're about to run in the back of. These guys are on medium tyres and haven't pitted yet, and may not pit for another lap or two as yet. So it's a good strategy to go the mediums, go long, and just pit when a safety car comes out, I suppose. They are in an opportunity now where they can go long and wait for an SC. And Connor, his problem is that Tope has got DRS off the back of Ben JS, which is going to make an overtake for Connor a little more complicated than he'd like it to be as we come towards turn 1, and could just bring Campbell into play, maybe. Let's go on board with Connor on the run down towards turn 1. Oh, that ruins that fight, because Tope is coming into the pit lane, which should make Connor's life a lot easier now, because he's got nothing between himself and Ben JS, and I think he'll close right up with a full front wing and fresher tyres through turn 1, and then do the same through turn 2, and then have DRS, and he'll make a move into turn 3. Let's see how wrong I am. I think I'm actually spot on, because look at the grip he's got compared to Ben JS, although he's not gaining a whole lot as he down straight, and this might have to be a lunge from Connor if he wants to make something work. It is going to be a lunge around the outside, and he gets sent straight on by Ben JS, has to hook the car around. Campbell nips through and takes the net lead of this Grand Prix, and Connor could have been more reserved in his attacks there, but he went for it, he saw a gap, and ended up just sailing straight on Daniel Ricciardo style there, and Campbell now leads the race. Bendres is defending this very hard, has to be said. And he's playing a bit of DRS chicken there as Campbell has a slide. The rear just steps out on him just a touch. And Bendres are actually going to let Connor go as well now. And Campbell will be fuming. I can hear him saying, Ben, why have you done that? Why have you let us both go? Let Campbell go. Probably too late for Campbell's liking. And let Connor go too quickly. At least from Campbell's point of view. Is Connor now going to have a run as Felipe retires at turn 15? Is that going to bring out a safety car? Brings out a virtual safety car, and that is pain on a rainy day in Spain for Montana and Cortez, who missed the pit. It's a full safety car. It's a full safety car, and Ben JS and Miami are already in the pit lane. They're going to cross the line, and they're going to be allowed to catch up, I should think, because they're going to cross the line after the safety car's been deployed. So will they be held to a delta, or will they be allowed to catch up? Or am I chatting rubbish? I don't know if there is an advantage to pitting this lap compared to pitting next lap. And classic Montana luck strikes again, doesn't it? Nico Gonzalez says, Ale Ben in the chat. QVR Nico repping the QVR drivers here. Good to see. But yeah, I said Campbell took the lead race, of course. No longer, because Montana is going to keep it after the pit stops. I think. I mean, it is a slow pit lane because it's a street circuit. It's only, what, 37 miles an hour, 60 kph, but I think he'll keep this. Although, when Campbell and Connor pass the start line, they can go full beams, can't they? So, the second half of the pit straight, the second half of Montana's pit stop, he will face an attack from Campbell and Connor if they stay out. And it is worth noting, does Montana have damage? Have we mentioned if Montana's got damage? I thought I saw it. No, yeah, he's got a missing front right end plate. Too much time lost, I think, to change it. He would have lost out to Cortez as well, which was his problem. Yeah, so Nathan is going to be a big winner in this. He's going to go up to P5. Felipe's left the session. In fact, is Montana going to come out ahead of Nathan here? It's going to be quite close as Nathan comes into turn 1. I think Montana might just have this, and he does. Oh, that was closer than I thought it was going to be, though. Nathan nearly had P3. A foregone conclusion. Yes, he is. Sorry, I'm just replying to RL Felipe, whose excuse for his behaviour is it's F2. Who are you backing then? We've got 3 laps to go. Oh, it's Montana, isn't it? why have Larkin and Verstappen here elected to come in and go back onto soft tyres? Yeah, so presumably this is going to be their qualifying set. They're only going to lose a place. Oh, Larkin's changing his wing. Is Verstappen doing the same? No, he's not. Verstappen's just changed his tyres. I mean, I don't like this, oh, it's only F2 attitude. What is Nathan trying to do here? People want to have a fun race. Why would you want to go and be an idiot about it, personally? I don't know. I just want to see fairness and fun, because I'm boring. Oh, and there's contact, and there's... We're just going to stay on board with this. Yeah. So, as before, we're going to get 2 laps of green flag racing. And Nathan doesn't seem particularly disinclined, does he? To carry on. Or to stop, rather. I'm using too many big words, I don't know what I mean. Nico Gonzalez says, "Miss you, Jake. I miss you too, babe. I miss you too, bestie. Come join us in the commentary box. Hop in. Come give some Spanish flavour to the last couple of laps as we watch Nathan continue to violate NF6 Montana. You can't really say Montana's doing too much wrong here, really, can you? I mean, Montana can say, well, Nathan shouldn't be there, so should be allowed to across the track. But it's a bit like how when you take your driving theory test, and most of the answers to the questions involve doing something on the assumption that everyone else on the road is an idiot. And, you know, Montana seeing what Nathan's got to do, he's got to drive knowing that's behind him. But, you know, what is he even trying to do the same to Connor now, possibly? I don't know. I just want this to be over and to go on MotoGP, to be honest with you, because this race is stressing me out. Oh. No bother, as we've got Montana passes Luke now. And the 5th goal retakes Luke. So, we have got 2 laps to go. It's QVR Campbell in the lead after Connor's costly slip-up, overtaking Ben JS for the lead of the race, who's now down in P17. It's going to be Campbell who gets them back underway. When the safety car comes in, it's his prerogative as to when he goes. So the safety car will come into the pit lane now. He'll get a message above his screen that changes to say prepare to resume racing, and now Campbell can go whenever he likes. Nathan is doing Campbell an absolute solid here. He's keeping Montana at beyond an arm's distance. I don't know if you want to call that shithousery or team play. No, it's not. It should be 10 car lengths. Yeah, it should be 10 car lengths. Nathan is now catching up, but certainly I think he's got in Montana's head here. More than he already had done. Brendan passes Miami before the line. And Campbell goes just as Connor caught up to him, and Nathan is going to get squeezed to the wall here, and Montana's on Connor's inside, Nathan's on his outside, Montana surges into P2, and there's going to get squeezed there as Connor in the middle. Nathan goes around the outside, Nathan takes a sensational second place here, covers the inside line from Montana into turn 2, and he gets that place covered off nice and easily, and Luke up into P5 around the outside of Cortez as we barrel down towards turn 3 for the second to last time. It's Montana behind the back of Nathan. These guys were dueling, jostling away behind the safety car. Montana on the super soft tyres. Can he get a move done around the outside turn 3? Absolutely not. Connor will slot in behind the pair of them and be ruining the race that was in the palm of his hand here before safety car and before his misadventures with Ben JS further back. We've got Miami and Forza Brendan in close company as we come into turn 5. Lars and Verstappen, look at this, and Verstappen's been caught sideways there through turn 6. And California passes Farrell in all of that, and who is that? That's Lars. We're going very slowly on the run down straight. Verstappen sends it up the inside of Farrell, and that is pure idiocy from QVR Verstappen here. And Ben JS might be fancying going up the inside, a pair of them into turn 8, and this is in the castle. How are you going to fit two cars side by side there? Somehow they manage it. Bender still has the inside line with Farrell as they come through turn 11 now, and they're bumping wheels up and over the crest and now down the hill. Verstappen's following the back of these, and it's who's going to give first as we come towards turn 15. Marty and Miami are in the wall, Tote's in the wall, and Ben JS and Farrell took themselves into the wall. Yes, and Verstappen does get through now. He recovers from that lunatic overtake on Ariel Farrell into turn 7. And up ahead, what is Montana going to do on the back of Nathan here? He's got some slipstream. He's going to go to the inside, and Nathan just squeezes him all the way to the pit wall here. And Montana's going to have to give out. Surely they're going to have to. Someone's going to have to give here. And into turn 1 we go. Montana's up ahead. Connor's going to get forced out all the way to the wall. And Nathan is round, hits the wall, his front wing's gone. Connor's spinning away as well. He resets to track, and yeah, that's a penalty for him. Behind them, Verstappen now leaps ahead of into P13. He's still behind Connor. It's Farrell now ahead of Nathan. Nathan's dropped right into that battle. Connor's just given up on life and quit the session, even though he's still in P12. It's Campbell from Montana, 2.2 seconds behind. We're on the last lap of this race. Cortez is now in 3rd. Luke's 4th. Forza Brendan is 5th. Luke's got no front wing. Brendan could be getting P4 here, and indeed he does. Luke is swamped up on the exit of turn 4. It's Brendan from Chill, from Larkin. How have these guys found their way into a battle for P4? Cortez, I think the top 3 is pretty much set in here. Cortez, though, doesn't have any damage. Can he put a challenge to Montana on the run to the line? Brendan is 4th. Chill is 5th. Larkin is recovered 6th. Luke, front wingless, is in 7th. Tope is 8th. Miami is 9th. As we come through the castle now, Miami having to do a couple of corrections there. And Larkin passes Chill. Chill made a mistake coming through turn 10. And Larkin inherits P5 as a result. Darry and California in, I think, we're close company. No, they're not, but it's Luke and Tope, though. Absolutely are to come around towards turn 15 for the final time. And Tope's going to send it here up the inside, and he passes the stricken high-tech car of Luke, and Miami might be looking for something there as well. He's going to come towards the line now. It's going to be QVR Campbell Rost, who probably wasn't expecting to win for most of this race, but he is going to take a win. Our championship leader, he's going to extend his lead over NSX Montana significantly here, as Verstappen now gets past California 5, and ahead of them, look at this, Luke, Miami, Darry, all in proximity here. It's going to be the most insane drag race of the line between 3 cars. Cool. Oh, and they take each other out of the race. Luke's out, and Miami involved in another race-ending incident. Verstappen takes 9th, Miami's 10th, California is, Bendress is 12th, Farrell's 13th, California's 14th. Nathan was the last of our finishers down in 15, and Jesus Christ. That's all I have to say. Jesus Christ. Say what you need to say. I agree, to be honest. Bulls of Reading started 20th, finished 4th. I think our top 4 are pretty reasonable there. Larkin was 5th, Tope 6th, Chill, Darry, Verstappen, Miami somehow got a top 10 finish. Connor 11th, Ben, Farrell, California, Nathan, Lars, Martial crossed the line, Luke, Felipe and Sagat failed to finish. And I think we should just end it there, to be honest with you. I think it's been chaotic enough as it is. We don't need to go adding to the drama. Let it lie, and let the chat and the rage stew. Right. Thank you to Ross for joining with me tonight, and thank you to me for also doing it tonight, and thank you to Baku for creating absolute carnage tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm sure someone will be around same time next week for whatever track it may be. Have you decided yet, Ross? It's there you go. It will be one of them. It'll be one of the circuits in the game. Thank you for watching. Until next time.